And can somebody explain how stupid Plaxico Burress shot himself? He just turned himself in a little, I guess.
Yeah, we just saw that. He was at a club.
Yeah.
And his gun went off.
Well, where did he shoot himself? Like, not location, but what part of his body?
In the leg, but it was just a flesh wound. He was going into the club, and they started wanding the guys in his party, and he said, hang on a second, I got something. So they took him off to a side area behind a curtain, and he took the gun out and was unloading it and accidentally discharged it into his leg.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah, actually, well, one of the reports, I mean, there's 5,000 different reports, but one of them that I had heard was that he actually he went to, like, unload it or handle the gun in some fashion and, like, bobbled it and then went to grab it to secure it, and that's when it fired.
There you go. Yeah. Great.
If you want the audio of the story.
Sure. Let's hear how the news presented it.
New details are emerging about just how Giants receiver Plaxico Burress ended up in a hospital early Saturday with a gunshot wound to his thigh. According to the New York Times, Burress was with teammate Antonio Pierce at a Manhattan nightclub called the Latin Quarter when Burress accidentally shot himself. He was treated and released from the hospital within hours. According to the Times, the bullet pierced skin and muscle tissue but did not hit any bone or an artery. It's unclear how long he'll be sidelined for recovery. The accident came just hours after Burress was deemed unfit to play in Sunday's game at Washington due to a hamstring strain in the same leg. The team released a statement saying, "Obviously, our primary concern is for Plaxico's health and well-being." New York investigators say the incident took place in a small alcove of the Latin Quarter near the VIP room. It's unclear how the gun went off. There were no reports of fights inside the club. It's not known if Burress could face punishment by the league. Police do say felony charges could be possible.
Is he licensed or no?
He apparently had a Florida license that was expired. A Florida license gives you access to about 29 states, something like that. New York not being one of them, and New York City certainly not being one of them. So he was in possession of an illegal weapon in New York.
What will happen to him, you think?
You know, they usually say a year mandatory, but for him, he's not going to have to do that.
And he's such a dope, too. They said that the reason that he was carrying was because of all of his bling that he was wearing.
His bling,
So, yeah, he was afraid to get robbed. So instead of just not wearing it in the first place, he wears all of it and takes an illegal loaded handgun into the club with him. Like, how dumb are you?
Hire a guy with a gun to stand there.
Yeah.
What a dopey thing, especially somebody of his, I mean, the guy makes a ton of money. He's got a huge mansion. He rolled up to the club, I think, in like a Maybach or whatever. It's just like, why would you put everything that you have on the line just so you could wear some of your crappy jewelry? Like, what's wrong with you?
I protect my own bling.
Yep.
Bring my own gat. Yeah, that was a, wow. And then to screw up like that and shoot yourself in the leg with it. Dude.
Yeah, was he Fredo?
Yeah.
Papa. What a dumbbell.
Yeah, he could face some felony charges. That's not New York City. They don't fool around. Really sucks that, especially if you're a resident. It's such a pain in the ass to get one.
And I'm sure if there was anybody who would make a good case for getting a permit for the city, it would be him. I mean, he's a high-profile sports star. He's got lots of money. He's always doing.
Where does he reside?
I don't know. I think Jersey.
Yeah, see.
But I'm sure I'm sure there's some way you could get some kind of carry permit or something.
Maybe.
I'm not sure of the law. Unfortunately,
they just had something in Newsday about who has carry permits for New York City.
Athletes.
Yeah, athletes. But a lot of the athletes only have premises permits. They're only allowed to keep them at home for home protection. But it seems radio personalities, they just, Imus, carry permit. Sean Hannity, carry permit. Stern, carry permit. So they're all allowed to pack heat as they're walking around because, controversial.
Have you ever seen talk radio?
Oh, of course. That's scary.
I won't ruin it for anybody.
You're dead.
Where he's walking around. He's not attached to the mic. He's just walking around ranting. The genius ranting.
I saw that.
So stupid.
I saw that movie before and after I did radio. And before I did radio, I was like, wow, radio seems pretty cool. Like you get in there and you just plunk down a phone and just ramble on without a mic, and you're walking around the studio, and it's just you and the producer, and you just, it's my peace of mind, man. And you only go to break when you're annoyed enough to go to break. And then I get into the business and go, no, it's nothing like that.
Now I'm watching this on YouTube.
Eric Bogosian.
Bogosian's thing with that. Remember the weird blonde-haired tranny guy?
Yeah.
He was laughing the whole time.
He came in because he was wild. And Eric Bogosian was like, man, this just isn't cool, man.
Yeah.
He was so into, like, let me tell you a little something about radio. You're not into every second that you're here.
No.
Like, every second you're here isn't this profound moment. Like, every moment he looked at, like, oh, look at this man I have in, and this is crazy. So profound. And no, actually it's not. Sometimes you just sit there.
And watch the long-haired guy make an ass out of himself, or watch your friend with the awful hat eat food while he's talking.
see how much he'll take to rip his clothes off and have an intern smell his underwear. You know, I didn't see that on talk radio.
What? I didn't do that.
Oh. No, of course, we've had interns do that.
What do you want to talk about? Plaxico Burress? He's in trouble.
Well, he's in Dutch. Ooh, his gun went off in his pants. We could actually talk about that because it is kind of screwy.
Yeah.
He's saying that, or people are saying, I don't even know who, that he had his gun, a .40 caliber gun, Glock, down the front of his pants, which is just the smartest way to carry a loaded and racked firearm, is down the front of your pants. What an idiot! Get a holster if you're going to carry a gun. Get something discreet if you're trying to hide it. Tuck it down the front of your pants like an OG. What does he think? He's trying to protect all his bling. That's why he said he was carrying. And you can't afford a leather holster that can hold the goddamn thing without it falling down. What happened? It fell down his pant leg, he said. Or someone said. He went to grab it through his pant leg, and it went off and shot him in the leg. Which is hysterical. I can only wish it shot his manhood off. Whenever I see somebody shoving a gun down their waistband, that's all I think is. It's a fine way to lose your manliness.
Probably would have done nothing to his though.
Oh yeah, just that's not. They'll just cut that part off.
It just healed itself.
Still, like a lizard tail. It just grows back.
The bullet would have bounced off the ridge and hit somebody else. I personally, I don't care if he did. I don't have a problem with the guy. He's going to lose like almost $30 million on a contract. He wasn't trying to rob somebody. He was carrying it probably to protect himself, because you can't go out without some scumbag jamming. How about this? How about you do more to stop people from jamming gums in your face, and people don't have to carry them.
Gums?
Yeah, gums. Not guns. Gums. People jam gums in my face. One time a guy put them, and he yelled, "Free dent," and I handed my money over. Yes, I said gums like an idiot.
Gums in their face. There is a law in New York City, though. You're not allowed to carry a gun unless you have a New York City license to carry a firearm, which sucks, if you ask me, because I think once you get a New York State license, it should be legit in all of New York State. But you got to go through their hoops and get a New York City license. He didn't have one. He had a license that was expired from Florida, which isn't even good in New York State. It's good in 29 other states, but not New York State. And even that wouldn't have been good in the city if it was good in the state. So he was breaking the law, and there's like mandatory jail term for carrying an illegal firearm in New York City, and for firing it, he had it in a venue. So all these things are just going to be, endangerment, things like that. He's gonna, and Bloomberg is saying he just wants the book. Throw the book at him.
Why is Shut up, Bloomberg.
Yeah, I don't know why Bloomberg's.
Why do you keep ruining traffic, you little baby? Because you had to sit in traffic one time, and now you're wrecking it for everybody. You spoiled billionaire. He's clogging up the roads, building these stupid bike lanes, and putting giant potted plants in the street.
Picnic tables.
What are you doing? You out-of-touch dump. What are you doing?
It's New York City. He's ruining the city for people that have to drive in it.
Yeah, because he's an overprivileged little billionaire brat who has security. So if he needs to get somewhere, they'll clear the way for him. Or if he takes the subway, he's got 8 guys with pistols taking the subway with him. He has no problem.
Think he's ever stuck in traffic just going, oh, damn.
Those are the most comfortable picnic tables to sit into, right in the middle of the road. Just a little tin table with cabs flying by you at 80 miles an hour.
Just waiting for some cabbie or some 80-year-old that does, I mistook the gas for the brake, to plow into you. Oh, because you know it's only tourists sitting there anyway.
I can't wait till it happens. It'll happen once. And then people will be. So what happened? That will be a big waste. What are you going to do in the winter? You going to have little tables out there when it's 5 below in January, or is that just going to be wasted real estate?
I hope we have a good snowstorm that covers them up, and a dumb plow driver comes by that has no idea they're there and just tears them up. Oh, this is some hard ice. All the tables go flying. Dummy. Yeah, Bloomberg is. I don't know what to make of him. Sometimes I really agree with him. And sometimes I just think he is a douche.
No.
Whereas Giuliani, I pretty much agreed with a lot of what he had to say and what he was doing, but a lot of people thought he was a douche.
Yeah.
But I have mixed feelings with Bloomberg. I'm not sure about him.
At least Giuliani went after quality of life crimes. And this guy is like changing the street patterns. Because he's, like you pointed out, what a baby he is. His little plan didn't go through.
Yeah,
he's not trying to relieve traffic. He doesn't care that people are sitting in traffic. What are you going to do, force everyone to ride a bike? You idiot.
Yeah.
We don't live in Vermont. This is New York. It's a city. People honk and drive, and there's traffic.
The only place you see people biking in New York is in the gay areas. The gay areas have the bike trails, and they like, biking and rollerblading and things like that in the gay areas.
I live in the gay area.
Well, whatever. That seems to be what happens when you drive down the West Side Highway, and there are certain people riding their bikes and walking hand in hand, walking small dogs.
Hard it is to cruise on a bike.
Yeah, that's what they do. But New York, he's adjusted traffic patterns to make it more of a pain in the ass to drive because his plan didn't go through to his commuter tax. It's pretty much what it is. Wants everybody to pay to come into Manhattan, which I don't care. It would be before I would get in before the thing was enacted because it's supposed to be it was supposed to be 6 a.m. and I'm in before that, so I wouldn't have to pay. And there'd be less traffic. I like that. I say get rid of the cabs. Everyone drive.
Remember that Sunday Giuliani did that? They were on the strike, and he was like, you know what? Screw it. No cabs in the city on Sunday, and it was nothing.
Leave.
It was so quiet and so relaxing.
Yeah, but you can't get around, dude. If everybody drove a cab, everyone driving would be a disaster. As much as I hate cabs, one cab will take care of 50 people that would have cars. You can't have just no cabs.
Yeah, it would be crazy. Believe me, and I can't stand cabs when I'm driving. I just want them off the goddamn road. They really only know how to drive in certain situations. They'll cut right in front of you.
Right.
When they see a fare, especially in the morning when there's barely any fares, they will pull across 4 lanes right in front of you just to get to that one guy. And you just want to kill them. I've yelled racial epithets out my window for cab drivers. Oh, my God. I've called them horrific things. And they yell back at me, but, what are they going to do? I see their number. They don't want to lose their cab medallion. What do I got to lose?
Plaxico Burress.
Yeah.
Wow. The Giants said goodbye to him overnight?
What a dunce.
What, did he work for this radio station, too, on the side?
No, they only suspended him, right?
For the year, right?
Yeah, he's done.
He's done for the year?
I thought it was a 4-game suspension.
That's the year, Jimmy.
Oh, but will he be
We're already in week
though?
13 or whatever it is, right?
No, if they make the playoffs, not if, but
yeah,
he's done. He's on non-injured suspension or whatever they call it.
So someone fill me in. What happened? I was flying. He was out somewhere in New York and shot himself or something?
He was at one of the clubs.
Right.
He had an expired Florida pistol license.
Right.
Which is like having nothing in New York City.
Well, you can't have a gun in New York City to begin with without jumping through a lot of hoops.
Very difficult to be able to carry a gun in New York City. He did not have the proper credentials, but he wanted to carry his Glock with him. He had a 40 caliber because he wears his bling, yo. He wears his bling, yo, and he wanted to protect himself if someone went to grab his bling. So, like any responsible gun owner, he had a gun that was completely loaded with a round in the chamber, and why have a holster of any sort when you can just shove it down the front of your sweatpants? So that's what he did, and apparently the gun slipped down his waistband and into his pant leg. So then what else do you do when you have a loaded gun that's ready to be fired and it goes down your pant leg? You panic and try to grab it before it falls out your cuff. And as you're doing that, you're squeezing a gun that you cannot see because it's in your pant leg, trying to grab it. And he apparently pulled the trigger, and it went off and shot him in the leg. He then was him and a few of his buddies frantically calling hospitals, asking, "Could I come down with a gunshot wound, and could you please not call the police? Because that's what you do."
What part of the leg?
I don't know.
Lower leg, below the knee?
It couldn't have been that bad.
Reports that I was listening to and seeing said it was his thigh.
Yeah.
His thigh. It didn't hit an artery or bone or anything like that, so it probably skinned him.
So why don't you just duct tape that crap up and make believe nothing happened?
Man up.
Why would you go to a hospital?
It's merely a flesh wound.
Might have been he might have had to need stitches, though. It might have been a little.
Yeah, it was probably. I'm sure it's a gunshot wound. He probably needed something, but every gunshot wound has to be investigated.
Right.
That's just it's what they do.
Right.
So he didn't want it investigated. So there's this big cover up now with the hospital he was taken to because they did not report it to the police. He was able to get it taken care of.
Wait. He had it taken care of without them reporting that it was a gunshot wound?
Yeah, because certain doctors showed up in the middle of the night.
And that's why this doctor broad is in deep trouble?
Is in trouble, yeah. You're supposed to report those gunshot wounds.
Wow.
And then there's allegations that another player took the gun back to his apartment. There's all kinds of secondary peripheral players coming into this whole story. So, this ain't over yet. He's in big trouble. Bloomberg wants to throw the book at him, as he said.
Blah,
and give him, I think it's 3.5-year mandatory sentence for having an illegal weapon.
You think that's going to happen? Hell no.
No, they're pretty strict with their gun laws here in New York City.
Plaxico is going to get 3 years for this? Hell no.
He'll do time, though, because Bloomberg, when he's not busy putting potted plants in the middle of the street, decided to comment. And once the mayor comes out and makes a remark, someone has to do something.
Yeah.
You have to. I mean, they're going to.
What's wrong with these guys? All the talent in the world. He's got the world by the balls.
It's like have a security guy. Even Jimmy said it. Have a security guy that's armed to protect your bling.
Right.
You know, you don't have to carry a weapon that you're not allowed to carry around with you. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Believe me, I'd love to be packing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, wherever I am. But
thank God you're not.
You can't. Well, why? I'm very responsible. I wouldn't shove a gun down the front of my pants, knowing that it's loaded and ready to rock and roll.
Good old Plaxico Burress was sentenced yesterday. He gets 2 years in prison for the nightclub gun incident. And I think he's got to do
20 months.
He's got to do, what, a minimum of 20?
It's a mandatory sentence.
It is mandatory. So if it's mandatory, why wouldn't it be 24 months, Anthony?
Well, you get good time, they call it.
But if it's mandatory, don't they throw all that out?
No.
Okay.
No. Certain crimes they do. But, if you get, like, life without parole, doesn't matter how much good time you got, you're going to stay in there.
Right.
But a sentence like his, 2 years... The sentence is 2 years mandatory, and then you get months knocked off if you're a good boy.
This fucking story, I know it's mandatory. It makes me sick.
I know.
This guy's life has just stopped.
Yeah.
And it annoys me because the guy's not a criminal. He's not a fucking criminal. He's an upstanding citizen.
He's stupid.
He is dumb, but he's protecting himself because he's a fucking target because he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
This guy's got to go to jail for 2 fucking years for this?
Yeah.
I know. You want different treatment for celebrity? This makes me sick. He should not have to go to jail for 2 years. He's not a fucking crook. Guys are punching their wives in the face, not going to jail for 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, take the celebrity part out of that statement, Jimmy. Anyone that does that, who's an upstanding citizen, shouldn't have to go to jail for 2 years for that.
Well, but I think he's an obvious target. Like a guy who makes this kind of money. Athletes get robbed. Right. I mean, they just do. And the bottom line is, he should not be going to fucking jail for 2 years. His fucking, I don't know, man. It just really bugs me that this guy's life and a healthy career, he's a productive member of society, is just stopped because in this shitty city you can't get a gun permit.
Yeah.
Because of our fucking fruity mayor.
And he was licensed in another state. He was licensed in Florida.
So he's a responsible gun owner, obviously.
So it's like responsible enough to not have a holster and shoot yourself in the leg.
That was stupid.
That was dumb.
Yeah, you got to kind of holster that
Have a
shit
holster.
down, right?
All right, that was right.
Hey, you guys agree with Reverend Al? That's good. See, you're going to get along with Reverend Al eventually. Reverend Al says it's a bit harsh.
I don't think so.
Unusually harsh.
Reverend Al wouldn't have said shit if it was anybody of white ethnicity. Yeah, that is that mandatory sentence is just bizarre. And it's based on a constitutional right. It's just the oddest thing. It's like you have the right to bear arms. The fuck? How do they get away with giving you a 2-year prison sentence for exercising your number 2 constitutional right?
And then Bloomberg. I can't stand I used to love Bloomberg. I really have started to hate his guts.
Oh, you see how nice the city looks?
He's an elitist shithead.
Yeah, he really is.
You haven't seen all the nice bus lanes and the nice bike lanes and the
big
huge
picnic tables where people should be driving.
The 1-ton planters all over the place.
Yeah.
The city looks beautiful, Jimmy.
It's fucking so irritating. It's just irritating. Actually, if it was in Honolulu, I'd agree with you. But it's New York and there's a winter and it's just going to be fucking creepy at night. Where cars are not going down.
Yeah.
So stupid. They'll probably open it to cars at one point.
I don't know.
How? They got to get rid of all those planters and stuff?
Fucking planters. What a dope.
They're like, the planters are close to a ton each. They're massive. Well, this guy does not agree with our Plaxico thing. Paul in Illinois. Paul?
Yeah.
Hey. Paul.
Yes, Paul.
Paul.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm sorry. I don't agree with Jimmy saying he's not a criminal. He committed crime. He carried a gun into a nightclub. The gun was discharged. They tried to cover it up. Both of those are felony convictions. He is a famous athlete. I will admit that, and they are trying to make an example out of him. But he committed crime.
I know, I understand that, and I couldn't disagree with you in court. You'd win the argument. I'm only saying that, there's no common sense sometimes. And to me, Plaxico Burress is not a guy who's a criminal out to hurt people at all. He did something stupid, but it was done in a way he was protecting himself with a gun. He's not going to stick anybody up with the fucking gun. He's a target. He obviously cared enough in Florida to get a license. It's just, to me, this is a guy, because he plays football, he shouldn't have a different set of standards. But there's no common sense. This is a guy clearly has a gun to protect himself.
How much
Clearly. Okay, if he needs protection, why doesn't he go out and get the big entourage?
Well, sometimes you just want to hang by yourself.
But and then again, if one of those guys does something stupid, if one of those guys fucking does something stupid, he gets in trouble for that too.
Yeah, a lot of times those guys do stupid things.
Do. You said
do. But it made sense.
It just,
of course it did.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah.
I just wanted to share my opinion on it. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. Getting through.
Paul, we welcome all opinions. It's all good,
yes,
my
we're
friend.
very tolerant here.
I mean, we
On
like...
a positive note, I hope Robin jumps off the damn Ambassador Bridge. She is the worst excuse for a woman out of Michigan.
No, she's not. Robin has been with this show for so many years, I can't even tell you.
Yep.
She makes Detroit look bad, and wow.
No,
that is
Robin
really
rules.
tough to do.
Our Robin rules. Thank you,
Paul.
Paul.
You ever go on YouTube or any other sites and just put in, Detroit?
Detroit is just completely crumbling.
There is some shit
scary.
going on in Detroit. Wowie kazowie.
They are boarding up homes left and fucking right at this
Boarded
point.
up, burnt out, crackheads, criminals, gangs.
Well,
it's just there's nothing going on there.
Well, what are they supposed to do at this point with the car industry completely falling apart in Detroit?
Well, if you're still
What are they
living
supposed
there,
to do? I would imagine
somehow-
if you don't have a job and you pick up the paper, I don't see how it's possible to get a job.
I'll tell you what you do. See that area right there? Mm-hmm. Whoever lives near there, clean it up.
Get the fuck.
Look at that house.
Who's gonna clean up
Clean up your fucking house. Maybe then your neighbor will do the same thing, and then the next one, don't be smoking a crack. You smoking crack? Just clean up your own fucking backyard, then maybe help will come in. People are too afraid to even come in and help you. Look at that lovely estate.
These people are just fucking broke, man. They're just broke.
They're broke up there.
Detroit stinks. They're broke.
Detroit is broke.
When Leno was he did a free gig in Detroit. They are fucked, man. They are. Their whole lives were built on a stupid car industry.
Yeah. Figure something out.
Well, they figured, look, we're going to always need cars, right? That seemed like that's a bet anyone would take.
Yeah, we'll always need
to gamble
cars.
on the car industry. Like, we're always going to need cars.
Look at that neighborhood.
Just dilapidated.
It's not. It's neighborhood after neighborhood, though.
Burnt out.
And those are
knocked down.
Those are
buildings.
big houses too, Ant. Those aren't little fucking shacks. Those are probably $500,000 homes.
It looks like the stereotypical war zone.
I don't know. That looks more like a middle class neighborhood. Those are some
everything's busted.
All right.
Sucks in the D.
It's so cold in the D. Don in Nevada. What's up, Don?
Hey, I just wanted to point out, if this guy is such a responsible gun owner, what's he doing going into a public place with a round in the chamber?
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a round in the
surprised how many guns with rounds in them are in these clubs in New York City especially.
Yeah, I'm not saying he didn't handle it stupidly. I'm only saying that as a society, we're putting guys in jail to protect ourselves and to protect citizens. And even though he did something stupid, to me, this guy that does not have a gun for the purpose of hurting other people, it's a legitimate protection device.
How much
time? I'm against the law that's in place in New York City. I don't like it at all. I think you should be able to carry concealed.
I agree. The mandatory laws are stupid.
I think if you have a license,
I carry a revolver on my hip walking down the street. There's no problem without a permit. No
not
problem.
even concealed.
But not one in the chamber.
If you have a license in Florida, you got a license in any of the other 49 states, I think you should be able to cruise into New York and carry your weapon. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be shoving it down the front of your fucking pants like a goddamn cowboy. Wear a holster. Keep that thing concealed. Don't brandish it. What was he doing? He was fucking up.
And the Supreme Court made a ruling a while back that the police have no responsibility to protect an individual, and me being a truck driver, it's a felony for me to carry a gun to protect myself, and it's not the responsibility of the police to protect me. Where am I?
There you go.
Yeah, where are you indeed?
All right, thank you, sir.
Right.
We got to move on because the phones, everybody wants in. This did happen in Boston. Jimmy James, a very similar situation to what you guys, what Jimmy was just explaining. Sorry, Jimmy James, what do you got?
At first, I was very much against it, Plaxico, getting preferential treatment. But then I thought back a couple of years back, Paul Pierce was out, with a couple of his boys just in a nightclub, and some random guy pulled his punk card, stabbed him 13 times.
Yep. That's a fact.
Just to say,
Paul Pierce.
So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. You don't want to give these guys preferential treatment and make them think they're above the law, but they are indeed targets, like Jimmy said. And one more thing.
They're showing this fucking video?
On Detroit. Oops, sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
On the Detroit front, I just see opportunity there to open the world headquarters of Ted Sheckler's Glass Shop Emporium.
Thank you, sir.
Out.
There's a YouTube video. I need Anthony's expertise. A guy throws a basketball. They're showing it on the screen here.
Oh, right.
He throws it, and it goes in, and it right here. Okay, I know this is radio.
He's throwing it from the top of the stadium stairs into a net that's on the ground.
I mean, it's possible. But
he might have thrown 30.
Yeah, no, I understand that part of it.
It's possible.
but they're showing it everywhere. I thought it was a fake video at first, but it's hard to tell on that one. Oh, here's a very good point on the Plaxico thing too. Kelly in Syracuse. Kelly.
Hey guys, the thing that pisses me off most is that Michael Vick hurts and kills hundreds of innocent dogs, and he's already back and has $1 million contract. And then there's Plaxico, who's just a dope and shoots himself, only hurts himself, and he's gone for 2 years.
Yeah, Plaxico is doing more time, I guess, than Michael Vick, right? How much time did Michael Vick end up doing? We all forgot already.
8 days.
That was more.
He did over a year, right? 14 months, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I believe so.
something
Not
So,
completely positive.
so what do you guys think of that? Michael Vick got less time than Plaxico. Is that crazy?
It's a very smart society we have.
He was sentenced to 23 months.
Who? Vic?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a month less than what Plaxico got.
Right, but he only spent how
Yeah, he
much
did a
time?
little over a year.
A little over a year.
He's a guy who I don't care if he did his time in jail. The guy's a complete slob. He never should have worked again. Only because I know you have a right to earn a living, and I think I've probably gone against what I'm saying now. But the more I think about Michael Vick, the more that nobody should have given that fucking piece of shit a dime after he did what he did, electrocuting them and
served his time.
He served his time. Though,
He
Jimmy.
should be allowed to live.
No.
I know, but still, he's just he's an animal.
Served his time.
Fuck him.
Because that's kind of what happens in radio. You fuck up. I know, and all of a sudden you're blackballed. You know what I mean? If you served your time, you should be able to go back to doing it. I'm not happy about what he did. I think it's disgusting. You know. But I don't think he should be blackballed if he did his time.
Yeah, fucking.
If a team wants to hire him, then there's a whole bunch of teams that said we're not gonna have Michael Vick on this fucking football team.
It's like
and that was their choice.
It's like if a guy rapes a child, and again, that's a much more extreme thing.
Right.
But even if he does his time, what team would hire him?
Well,
it's
that
like,
is a different kind of a thing. The recidivism rate of child molesters is like 100%.
Yeah.
So you're not really going to be rehabilitated. Dog killing, all right.
You got to slow down. Michael Vick was not rehabilitated.
Yeah, you don't.
That guy would fucking do the dog thing.
Yeah, but
tomorrow if
let
he
me
could
tell
get
you
away
something,
with it.
though. Let me tell you something, though. Yeah, if he could get away with it. But somebody like a child molester, they'll do it knowing they won't get away with it. Like, that's a whole
that's a
nother
good point,
fucking
they just can't help themselves.
Bag of worms.
It was a bad example, but I'm only
can of
saying
worms.
he didn't just do it once. He did this for a long time, and he did it repeatedly and repeatedly, repeatedly. And the animal mentality, for you to be able to do that, you get a great life and a millionaire to be able to torture animals like that. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, that's like near serial killer stuff.
Mm-hmm. I got a home invasion story. Oh, wait a minute. Jeremy in North Carolina. You got something on that basketball video? Most people have seen it by now. It's all over YouTube, and now the dumb media is picking it up and playing it everywhere.
Hello?
That was my intro to you, Jeremy. Go.
Yeah, now it's your turn.
Hey, if you put on second 9 of the wide-angle view, the basketball just kind of disappears, and it doesn't reappear. So it's a shot where he's standing up, and he throws it, and you're looking down on the field.
Huh.
Wait.
If you look at it, the angle of it doesn't even line up with where the hoop is, and they say, "Oh, the wind took it" or something, but the ball just disappears.
I gotta go with fake. Although that shot is makeable if you sit there all day.
All right, let me see. He throws.
If you sit there all day and throw this basketball,
Where's the ball?
It is makeable.
But the ball's up top. I could kind of see it.
It's not a basketball anyway. It's a smaller ball for him to hold it that way.
It looks like it's like a WNBA ball, which is slightly smaller.
Yeah, there's no way he's palming a real basketball like that.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. This one's tough to figure out. Like the guy sliding on the slip and slide or whatever and landing in a pool.
Yeah, that's fake.
You know, just looking at it a few times, you realize that it was fake. But this, I don't know. What do you think, Ant? You see the ball the whole time. No?
And, video.
You see the ball the whole time, Danny?
Yeah, it's hard to see the angle with the one cam like that from the ground, but
there is 2 shots. There's one from the stands and there's one from the field, and they do sync up pretty well. And even all the stuff going down on the field, like with people running around, I mean, you could tell it was definitely shot at the same time. And it looks,
and the energy going into the basket.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like
coming down pretty
hard.
hard.
That thing kind of shakes.
Did you?
So just these little details.
Did you see the hole in one? The guy who won, I think, $1 million, one of those contests.
Really?
Hole in fucking one. Yeah.
And what did he win?
I think $1 million in a car. They set that up at little dumb local tournaments, but no one ever gets close to the hole one.
Yeah.
This guy fucking put it in the hole. So what do you think? It's tough, right?
The guys who do this have an entire website of just crazy basketball shots.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go with that. It's
The thing does look like it's going way off to one side and then curves back.
Well, if you throw enough balls, you could kind of figure out the wind. If you know the wind's going to push it a little bit. Honestly, I've played a lot of basketball in my life. That shot is makeable if you put in the time.
Seen some ridiculous shots.
I mean, what we see is the one shot, so we're like, oh, what? The guy picked up the ball and threw it? No, they could have been there all fucking day.
Yeah. Let's see all the other shots strung together for an hour of him missing.
And then the video wouldn't be as impressive. Let's go to Matt. Matt, what do you got?
Boys, how we doing? Jimmy, happy birthday, sweetheart.
Hi, buddy.
I want to chime in on the Plaxico Burress thing. Dante Stallworth I think he played for Cincinnati. He killed someone. He was high and he ran someone over. He did 28 days in jail.
Yeah, it's really inconsistent, and I just have gotten such a dislike for Bloomberg because I think he's just a rich baby who's out of touch, and he just wanted to make an example out of this guy. And it's like, you know what? Throw some of the pieces of shit from Wall Street. I mean, we got Bernie Madoff. Worry about them. This guy is not going to go out and fucking pipe some old lady over the head. He's not going to rob a person.
Remove hats.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's just this one bugs me, man.
All right, boys, punch it out.
All right, thank you.
Did you see the Plaxico Burress interview?
Nope.
You missed all this fun
I watched
stuff.
it. I told you what I was doing.
There would have been a lot of stuff to be outraged about, though.
Plaxico.
Bill Cowher, right? Was his
Let's watch
coach?
it. Let's fucking watch it.
Well, Plaxico, played for Cowher in Pittsburgh, I guess?
Yes.
So he knows him very well. So they did this, jailhouse interview before the Super Bowl. And by the end of it, you're like, what the fuck? This guy did commit this crime, right? And somebody finally spoke up after the piece saying, whoa, let's not forget some facts here.
Why did it seem like why is this motherfucker in jail? Was that it?
Well, I got some of the interview here. Let's see how deep we get into this.
The greatest statement I heard about this is his lawyer said he should go to, he did something dumb. You shouldn't go to jail for fucking 3 years for being dumb.
Yeah.
2 years, right?
Mandatory.
Mandatory, too.
For being dumb, which is a perfect, he fucked up.
And he's got to do the two.
That really is annoying.
He's only been in there, a few months at this point?
Damn, you can't fuck up. Jail is to rehabilitate you. Jail is to say, you're a criminal, we got to get you right. It's not there to go, oh, man, you shot yourself in the fucking leg. We got to put you in there for 2 years so you'll never shoot yourself in the fucking leg again?
True.
This is ridiculous,
I don't
man.
think jail's rehabilitation as much as it is get this person off the fucking streets for as long as we can or something. There's no rehabilitation going on in there.
But do we need to get him off the streets?
No, he seemed like he's a guy that fucked up. Yeah, but the idea of having an illegal firearm like that in New York City,
he's trying. I mean, that's what it is, and I'll give you this: it's a young black dude, young black millionaire who does not, and this is the sad thing, he does not want to seem like a sellout and stop hanging out with black people. He only should hang out with other black millionaires in a place where only black millionaires could be, where he doesn't have to worry about pistols.
You know what? Get a fucking holster.
Or get a bodyguard.
That's what it is. Get a holster so you're not sticking the fucking gun in your pants, dummy. You want to carry a gun, especially illegally, let's get a fucking holster.
Well, let's get into this because he talks about rehabilitation and all that shit. So let's see. This is from yesterday, obviously.
You know, Plex, when you said goodbye to Tiffany and Elijah, when did it finally hit you that you were actually in prison?
I think when I woke up that morning. You know, it was a surreal feeling.
And instead of my nice wife, I saw a giant Mexican dick hanging in front of my football face.
When did it hit me?
Yes. When I was going to grab lunch and two Aryans punched me in the jaw. A guy with a Hitler tattoo on his knuckle fucking knocked out my molars. Then I realized I was in prison.
When I had to shake roaches at the bottom of my cereal box.
Exactly. When my dessert was taken by a man who was much larger than me.
When I realized I had to sharpen my toothbrush to keep this motherfucker from fucking me in the ass.
Could you rewind that question again? I think we missed Plaxico's answer.
All right, let's see.
Actually in prison.
I think when I woke up that morning,
Further, fuck. All right, let's just fucking do this.
You know, Plex, when you said goodbye to Tiffany and Elijah, when did it finally hit you that you were actually in prison?
Well, Bill, I was taking a shower and someone put their dick in my butt.
That's when it hits you.
Yeah. Wolf hit on me.
Yeah. When the sisters tried to rape me in the cellar.
I could be a friend to you.
Yeah, so when they did a cell extraction and then maced me.
Wait a minute.
Hard to get.
We have to give Norton credit on what a great... Wolf is a fucking great reference. Fucking Wolf.
What happened, Plax? Wolf wanted to get friendly. I didn't.
You know, Plex, when you said goodbye to Tiffany and Elijah, when did it finally hit you that you were actually in prison?
I think when I woke up that morning, it was a surreal feeling that, I remember that morning, as if it was yesterday. I don't think for anybody that jail or prison is a part of the plan in life. You really don't know what to expect. I remember putting my suit on my son and taking that drive and going into that courtroom and kissing my wife and telling her everything's going to be okay, and seeing her emotional and crying, it cuts you deep.
Oh, my God.
I think there's no way this guy should have to do 2 years, though.
Oh.
But it's, of course, because that fucking Bloomberg, who I can't stand, had to shoot his mouth off. Oh, he shouldn't get any preferential treatment. Meanwhile, this fucking jizzbag mayor spends $100 million to get elected. Hey, asshole. How about just taking some of that and throwing it into the economy? How about taking your own money and just fucking hiring people to do shit?
No.
Can't stomach him.
Is it safe to say that this experience has made you a better husband and father?
Oh, man, no question. Because when it's all really said and done, you look around and you see when people are standing up. And, my wife has just been incredible, through this whole situation. I mean, you couldn't ask to be with a better person.
I've never heard prison so boring. I watch Lockup all the time. It's fucking unbelievable.
Best show shit going on all the time.
Here's what they should do. Have Coward go in with him on an all-day fucking, all right, chow time, Plaxico.
Watch him tripping him and spitting in his foot, picking the nose and rubbing it in his fucking mac and cheese.
And he has to be in PC. He has to be in Punk City.
And how it's filmed, you could barely tell they're in jail. It was just in a room.
He has
they didn't
to be
show
in
anything.
PC, man. He got to be.
Well, you want to hear about his normal day?
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
There's no cameras outside this room. Tell me about your normal day.
Well,
oh boy,
Bill Coward, he's giving the most.
Well, that's what I'm getting at here.
This is unbelievable.
Because then his fellow broadcasters there give it to him a little bit, like, yo, hey, whoa.
Why is the asshole head coach with the fucking Pittsburgh cheese dick mustache doing an interview? He's not a fucking interviewer.
He was his coach for a while, so he feels like he really knows this guy, and
There's no cameras outside this room. Tell me about your normal day.
I wake up and the first thing I do is I just get on my knees and I pray and I just thank God for another day. I go from there and I just try to keep my mind focused on the right things.
Are you able to work out?
Yeah, I do. I actually work out about four days a week. I do as much as I can. It's not a LA Fitness or Bally's or anything like that, but.
Oh my God. These guys on Instant Feedback are going with when did you realize you were in prison? Josh writes, when some bald guy bent me over and told me to call him Tom Brady. And then, dog shit sniffer. I realized I was in jail when I woke up spooning a 350-pound man called Sunshine. And when I had to put a couple of cans of soda in a pillowcase to ward off my cellmate.
That's funny. Yes, I realized I was in jail when the radio blew up in Viking's ear.
Viking.
Yes, when Viking drew a bird and we all laughed at him.
Fucking Tweety, man.
Yeah,
it was Tweety.
When Warren Jerome got shot with the gun I had, I realized I was in jail.
I realized there wasn't enough soda cans to beat off my rapist. when I put it in a pillowcase, it was just 2 Dr. Peppers. And that didn't hurt him. Oh, shit.
He goes on to explain athletes and guns.
Oh, God.
Plex, we're seeing it a lot these days. Athletes and guns. Why is it so prominent?
I can speak from a personal, standpoint. I had my home broken into twice. When things like that happen, it kind of takes your, peace of mind away. You hear about guys getting robbed at gunpoint. It scares you a little bit. You say to yourself, you don't want to be in that situation. And then when I looked at my situation, you can make a bad situation even worse.
In the position of prominence that you were in and a lot of athletes are in, the choices have to be a little bit different as well, don't they?
That's one of the things that, guys for myself, you go into a lapse of judgment for a quick second because, you think about yourself. My decision, it was a selfish decision.
Well, go through the legal channels and fucking get yourself.
I can't get a gun. Motherfucker stole my truck from front of my damn house. That shit still scares me. A year ago, I'm not over that.
Yeah.
That's just violating, man.
That is, huh?
Yep.
I'd make me carry a fucking illegal gun and shoot myself in the leg because I'm scared.
In the fucking leg, yeah.
Because that shit scared the fuck out of you, right?
Motherfuckers know where you
It's hard to get a
live.
goddamn gun in this.
That shit's scary. And motherfucking niggas don't fuck with white people. They're not gonna go in your house. They too scared.
No,
they're gonna come in my fucking house.
No, my neighborhood is ripe. Believe me. It's ripe.
I still haven't seen one thing where they just walk in those
Nassau
houses.
County,
Doesn't
they
seem
kick
right.
that fucking door in, or they'll knock and say, "Oh, there's some kind of issue," and these idiots open the, or these idiots leave one door unlocked or a window, and then before you know it, you're fucking opening your eyes, and there's some fucking guy there with a gun or a knife to your fucking throat.
That's just scary, man.
Oh, how violating would that feel?
And you carry a gun, you
powerless.
just are able. I mean, he might have a felony and can't get one, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what his record is.
And he wanted a gun now.
But you got to be a resident of New York in order to even get a New York
You see all
license.
this shit you got. It's like, fuck that,
ridiculous.
man. I'm taking my gun. You see?
That's why there's so many illegal guns. I think gun control puts more illegal guns on the fucking street. There's no way you can figure out how to keep the bad guys.
And I was just
getting
reading
guns.
about fucking the Constitution, right?
Yeah.
Right to bear arms. And this is what I'm saying about, going back to all the racial shit where, where they got me thinking the NRA is a bunch of just crazy crackers who want guns. It was the Second Amendment. It's the second most important
Number
thing
2, yes.
on the Constitution. And
Talking is number 1. Opening your fucking mouth is number 1.
Number 2 is pistols.
Is fucking guns.
And the reason that you have that as number 2
is to protect number 1.
No, it's in case a traitor ever gains control of the country.
You have an armed populace.
Yeah, we know all that. That was the reason.
It's fucking like you go. We supposed to have guns.
It's like all of a sudden something twisted. All of a sudden your democracy turns into a dictatorship. Now the dictatorship has the army because he's in charge now. So then you get the armed populace who can fight against them. That was the basic reasoning.
It's the second most important thing.
2.
Right.
Slavery was 16.
As well it should be.
You're saying it should be on there?
All right, listen. Let's fast forward. So, I mean, they asked him, did you let everyone down? Of course he said yes. And a return to the NFL, of course he said
This
yes.
is a real heart-to-heart, though.
He's like, of course. I want to fast forward. So the interview ends, and it was a feel-good interview with this Plaxico guy. And I'm like, what the fuck? And you have Boomer and James Brown and Marino and Shannon Sharp. Somebody finally spoke up at the end of the interview going, whoa, you're missing out on something here, Bill.
I bet it was Boomer.
Who I was going to say, who you think
I don't
it was?
remember.
I bet it was Shannon Sharp.
No, it wasn't Shannon Sharp. Hell fucking no. I'm going to go with
cornball Boomer.
It was either Boomer or no, I think it was Boomer.
And guys, I think whether he comes back and play or not, that's a sidebar. The message out there's a lesson to be learned by what went through with Plaxico. And you don't want to have to learn it the hard way that he's experiencing now. And hopefully people will see that and they'll learn from that.
You know, Coach, you did a great job, and I'm sure it was very hard for you. I actually have very mixed emotions about this because I've watched Plaxico since he's been in New York, and this isn't the only time that he has caused problems. And I will say this should be a PSA for all athletes out there not to have an unlicensed licensed handgun with them in our cities.
You're right. And, Coach, it was a sad interview because just 2 years ago, as you mentioned in the piece, he was catching the game-winning touchdown. It's sad that he had to lose his career, go to jail for a couple of years in order to learn a lesson. That is a painful way to learn a lesson.
And, Shannon, you know what? He is going to learn his lesson. And the one thing for sure is he said he wants to come back and play. And you know what? He's a guy that's 32 years old. And you know, in the NFL, there's a lot of guys, a lot of teams that need a player like Plaxico Burress.
I think his sincerity was absolutely clear, remorseful, very sincere in that piece, Coach, without a doubt.
I've never heard more worthless commentary after an interview.
Drivel.
4 dumbbells trying to be socially relevant.
You just don't have a unlicensed gun in our cities.
You know the way I see it? Shut up. What down is it? You fucking idiot jock.
Get to the game. You know the way I see it.
Stop trying to be poignant, you fucking morons.
All right, let's do some leaks. We got to go to the bathroom.
Show me more Steve Winwood.
No, thank you.
He was good.
But, Plaxico's another asshole. He's another one that's got to do his thing, you know. He came out and like is joining together with the Brady people for the Brady, remember the Brady bill? There's a whole Brady Foundation now on gun safety, but it's not safety. It's pretty much it's a huge gun control.
Plaxico went from carrying a gat in his underwear to now this organization?
To now this organization.
What is wrong
he's
with
in
people?
cahoots with them.
Does he mean it?
I doubt it.
Or is it part of his community service or something?
He probably loves guns. If you
Of course he loves
put
guns.
a gun down your sweatpants like that, and you fucking got your gat.
He loves guns.
He loves guns.
He loves guns as much as Tracy Morgan loves talking about the gays.
Loves talking about the gays. Right. And he loves his guns, but he got caught. He went to jail.
So now he's got to play it the other way.
How about you love legal guns?
You know why he's doing it?
Yeah.
Because it's not a guarantee he goes back to the NFL.
Right.
So he's got to look like this guy.
Yep.
This is more fake shit.
It's the same shit with the fucking, the dog fighting. What's his fucking...
dog fighting guy?
Yeah.
Mike Vick?
Vick.
Michael Vick?
Yeah, Michael Vick.
I thought you meant Dog the Bounty Hunter for a second.
No, well, him too, but... Michael Vick went and started speaking out for animal rights.
Right.
And the NFL snatched him back up.
He's this close to doing a middle-of-the-night commercial.
Oh, one of those commercials. Hi, Michael Vick. Take care of this dog with crusty eyes. And
we need a Sarah McLachlan for this bit.
His little paws up. That's sad. He can't walk but on 3 legs.
Yeah, here's a guy that used to hold the head of the dog under the water.
Underwater and fucking drown the motherfucker.
And now he's a guy that's really close to doing the commercial.
Yeah. Hi, this is Michael Vick. If you got a dog or a cat that look like this, look at the cat with the crusty eyes and his running nose. Look at this dog ain't got no teeth.
Teeth.
Dogs gotta have teeth. He can't eat with no teeth. I'm Michael Vick. Pledge whatever you can to give these animals a home. I used to drown the motherfuckers, but I don't no more. Thank God I'm considered a pretty good goddamn quarterback, or I wouldn't have no career left. Because I make these dogs bite each other till one of them died or shit. Look at this one, hobbling around. What's that mangy shit on his ass? Look like he's ashy. He needs some lotion. I'm Michael Vick. Please give all you can to these little dog-ass motherfuckers that I used to have bite each other's throat until they bled out.
But not no more.
Not no more. I'm saying please give generously to the Michael Vick Dog Ain't Need No Gook in Its Eyeball Foundation.
And as you're doing that, there's a picture of Michael Vick holding a nice, cute little dog.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want to be doing that.
Please.
That's in his DNA, man.
He's fucking, he loves fighting dogs. Loves it.
You think as he was holding that dog, he's kind of shaking inside, getting the itch?
He's feeling the muscles going, it's a strong dog, motherfucker.
Getting the itch.
Yeah, look, he's got his hand on that dog's chest, probably going like, ooh, that's a strong front end on this bitch.
Right.
I bet I'll put that one in the ring.
My humble opinion, there's no way he changed to the point where he's now holding cute dogs in publicity photos.
Look,
there's no way that's the same guy.
The dog's adorable.
Get the fuck out of
He
here.
wants that thing tossed in a ring.
Stop it.
These celebrities don't get that shit by me. Maybe
Nope.
some other people. Plaxico now,
and Plaxico
with the Brady
now is
people.
with
Get
the
outta
Brady,
here.
Gun Safety Foundation. Whereby gun safety, by the way, the whole Brady organization means if there are no guns, it'll be safe. You'll be safe from guns, and that's the Brady way around it.
And I gotta be honest with you, I used to sort of think that.
Yeah.
Until I started really listening to your gun stuff.
It's just,
I don't know where I am completely with it, but
Yeah.
you've opened my mind, because you know what? I do something very different than most fucking assholes out there. You listen to both sides and then start kind of forming your own opinion on
you
stuff.
form your own opinions,
And you've kind of turned me a little bit on the gun thing. A little bit.
I mean, a lot of people would love a country with no guns. But if there were no guns, if you could wave your magic wand today and have absolutely zero guns in the United States,
Then it would all make sense.
Well, it would make sense, but then you'd be like, well, I need a good club. Because there's still... Now, the guns are gone. I'm not saying the violent people are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now there we go. Now you need a good, strong club or a knife, because the bad guys are going to get a club or a knife.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have to defend yourself with that. And then there'll be knife or club control groups saying too many people are being killed by guns and knives, and it's by knives or clubs. But it doesn't have anything to do with the guns anymore. It's still violent people that want to hurt other people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you could wave your hand to get rid of that, then the guns wouldn't hurt anyone, because no one would want to kill anybody. And then you just have fun at target shooting or hunting or doing whatever you want. There'd be the occasional accident, but that happens with cars or anything else. But you're still going to get violent people.
Oh, yeah.
So the gun argument really doesn't hold up. And if you look at some of the biggest crime-ridden areas in the United States, they have the strongest gun control laws in the country.
Right.
So that really doesn't make much sense. But I've said all this before. So
Many, many times.
Where?
And in many, many different ways.
Yes.
You guys remember Stevie Johnson doing the Plaxico Burress?
You doesn't have to call him Johnson.
Making believe he shot himself in the leg after scoring the touchdown.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills player.
Yeah.
The fucking NFL fined him $10,000.
Oh, that's not even that
$10,000?
bad.
It's not bad, but it's the fact that they're fining him over that. Because I would ask the NFL today, and I wish I could get someone on the phone. Who was offended by that? That you have to fine him $10,000. Who was offended?
Not Plaxico.
What is that hurting?
He laughed.
Plaxico said he wasn't even offended.
Said he thought it was funny. Water
Yeah.
under the bridge.
He said he got a good laugh out of it and water under the bridge.
Yeah.
So why are you fining the guy? What is the logic there?
I guess they want to keep their peeps in line. They
So-
had the slave master had to get the whip out and give him a couple of lashes.
But everyone enjoyed it. And the ones that don't enjoy something like that, you shouldn't be paying attention to them. You know?
It's just about consistency. They need to keep them all in check. No celebrating like that in the end zone.
Why?
Because it's too much fun. It's too interesting for the viewer.
It's
I don't know
unbelievable.
why. They just want to keep it.
Might as well make them wear suits and ties on the field.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Well, I'm seriously.
Suits and ties. That would be funny if they all had giant blazers and ties.
But I mean, they're trying to get this this high class respect thing. It's fucking football, man.
I know. They've
They
taken
should
a lot
allow-
of the fun out of things.
They should allow all of it. Because guess what? If the other team is a little pissed off because you're celebrating a little too much, they're going to take care of their own.
I think it's part of the game too. It's
What?
part of like that whole kind of fucking with the other team a little, psyching them out,
Yes.
doing shit,
Rubbing it in.
Can the team either look at it and be demoralized and do shittier, or kind of
right,
step it up and make them look stupid for celebrating like that? Yeah,
Sportsmanship sucks.
It really does.
In the end, it sucks. It's not good for the fans.
I mean, obviously you can't have a guy clotheslining one of the players or
Right.
something, but shit like that.
I mean,
little shit talking.
I'm a huge hockey fan. Hockey does it right. They still allow way more in their sport than other sports, right? They still allow the fighting and stuff like that. And they'll have brutal games, in the playoffs and stuff. And at the end of the series, they shake hands.
Yeah.
I like that. That kind of sportsmanship I like. But the other shit, they
They
just
know
allow.
it's part of the game.
They just
Yeah.
allow it. Who's on the hotline?
Hotline?
Who's on the mother hugging
Fuck is this?
hotline?
What the hell is this?
Does Justin have more info on the...
Is it Adam Walsh?
Justin.
Oh, it's probably
be.
not.
They only fined him because it involved a gun.
Who's this?
A fake hand, like a finger and a thumb gun.
Yeah, but it was still promoting using a gun, and they're trying to clean up their image of being gangbangers.
Oh, come on. Stop. I can't believe that. Really?
Come on.
That's why it was only $10,000.
Oh, I wonder.
Is that the official statement?
I don't think so.
Justin?
I'm not taking your word for it, sir.
That's
what they were saying on. That's what they were saying on all the talk shows yesterday.
The sports talk shows?
So this is secondhand info.
They had to fine him something because it involved a gun, so they made it a minimal amount for him. Who knows?
Yeah, right. All right. We can handle a gun bit.
Yeah, a fake hand.
Right.
A gun made from your hand.
Right.
Is silly.
Mocking something that
It's not
happened
like he brought
to
out
a
a
player
real
on the
gun.
other team.
Yeah.
One of the Jets' offensive linemen claimed it was very insensitive because he crashed a jet, which reminded him of 9/11.
Ew.
Oh, yeah.
What a dick. Why would you say that? Like, he's not doing I could see if he had two of his fucking players standing there like towers and he ran into them and they fell.
Right.
God,
They do a big stage production.
Reminded me of 9/11.
Right.
Well, tough shit then. I guess you should never board a plane because that might remind you of 9/11.
Those are the people we should not be paying attention to in this society. Let them be
Society.
fucking miserable somewhere else. Don't give them a fucking voice.
From Utah.
Huh?
The guy is a Mormon from Utah.
Oh, shut
and
up.
even lived in New York
Right.
during when it happened, and he said it was very insensitive. It was Puha is his name.
How about that?
How about that? All right, Justin. Thank you for the info, man.
Thanks, guys. Much out.
All right. What has better ratings, hockey or the NFL? Obviously the NFL, Joe. What are you getting at? What are you getting at, Joe? Joe, what are you getting at?
What am I getting at? You say hockey's this great league, nobody watches it.
I wouldn't say no one's watching. I mean, football has better ratings, sure.
No, of course nobody.
So you don't want your NFL players celebrating on the field? Is that what you're getting at?
No, but I'm saying the NFL doesn't.
Because that's all I'm talking about today, by the way.
The NFL obviously is doing something right because people keep watching, so they're keeping it fan friendly. You're saying they're not.
If you really want
Fan friendly.
No, if you really want to argue this point, the NFL has 16 fucking games per team. That's why a shitload of people watch. Every game matters.
No, I think Joe's right here.
And I've explained it in the past, like baseball and basketball and hockey. If they knock down the amount of games they play in a season, that would help the sports. Of course they have better ratings and more fans. There's only 16 fucking games. Only 8 home games. That's crazy.
But, Joe, your point is well taken. What were you saying?
Thank you, Jim.
You can't compare the two, you idiot. You just can't compare the two.
Now, but Joe's just saying that the ratings are better, right, Joe?
That's correct, Jim. If you really want to get into it, the reason hockey doesn't have good ratings is because there's a bunch of Canucks and Ruskies running around. Nobody can pronounce their names. But
No, that's not.
You're racist.
No, that's not really it. It's a hard sport to follow on TV. That doesn't help. They even brought in professionals to try to figure out how we could, watch it better. And that failed miserably.
Yeah, that stupid light the puck thing. That didn't work.
That didn't work very well.
But whoosh. But Joe, let me ask you, because you're a big football fan, do you want these guys celebrating and getting a bit obnoxious or not?
I don't mind it, but I understand why they fine them because they don't want fights and things like that.
Yeah, fights, who cares? They do more damage running at each other full speed than a dumb fist fight with all their equipment on.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's true, but PR damage, that's the big damage.
Puerto Rican?
PR damage, but who's offended by this? I want to talk to these people. Who's actually offended?
Nobody.
You guys know, sponsors.
No.
Well, you know what? I don't even think they're offended. It's just this very weird gray area. Who the fuck is offended? Line them up. Let's talk to them.
No one. No one's really offended.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
I think everyone's just, scared.
Yeah, the people get scared that someone might be offended, so
Right.
they jump the gun.
Right.
And, fine people.
All right, Joe. Sorry about yelling.
We're being proactive.
All right.
problem.
All right.
Now, boys.
All right. Joe in Missouri with some logic there, I guess. So.
Hockey ratings are lower because black people don't watch.
Oh,
That's a good point too. I mean, it's probably they're not getting a big black audience at all.
You don't see black
Or
people
women.
at hockey games.
No,
It's
Women, because they weren't raised on it. I guess like blacks and women probably don't watch it as much, which definitely hurts the numbers.
Women kind of like hockey.
Do they?
Maybe not as much as other sports. No, definitely not as much as other sports, but I see them at the games.
Because you can look at the buns in football. You can look at their buns.
I think chicks mostly probably go to baseball games.
Yeah, because you can see the
With
players.
their pink hats.
Yeah, with their pink Yankee hats. Pink. And the boyfriends take the girl to the game, even if the girl isn't completely interested, just to sit there and, ooh.
I just don't like baseball anymore.
No?
I guess I was I guess I was faking it for a bunch of years on the radio, thinking I was still a fan, and then I one day woke up and realized, wait a minute,
You don't like
you
it?
don't like baseball. It's
Aw.
too slow. Too many fucking games.
I like going to the game. Nice day. On a nice day. I hate when it rains and you guys sit down there in the rain, but on a nice day, it's cool. You drink, you fucking eat shitty food.
Well, these new stadiums are doing it right because, now it becomes a whole day of...
Oh, yeah, there's restaurants, museums.
You could just wander around.
Yeah.
See, they even know. We need more. If we're going to charge, such a high ticket price, we got to give these people more things to do.
Give them shit to do in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Because just sitting and watching the game, it gets a little much.